Hello. Hi, everybody. Wow, look at that. I'm back. I'm back after a very, very, very long hiatus. Okay. First of all, I missed y'all. I missed y'all a lot. And, let me actually just make sure that, okay, my audio is not actually that quite loud. Hold on, let me go ahead and fix that a little bit. Let's go ahead and put that there. There we go. Put the microphone up a little bit. Should be good. Microphone up a little bit. Should be good. Testing. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good on that end. Okay. Anyways, hi everyone. Hi. Lovely to see you again. Lovely to see you. I have been away for a very, very long time, and there's actually a couple of reasons for that. Actually, a lot of logical reasons for that. One, I had shitty internet, so I wasn't able to actually do streaming for quite a while. And yeah, it really fucked up. It really like messed up with my streaming, and I thought, you know what? I'm not gonna deal with this because it just kept. It would do like the whole reconnecting thing every time when I would try to stream. And yeah, it really put a dent in my streaming stuff. So either way, we're back, hopefully properly, and what better way to actually start off? What better way to actually start off with all of this than to talk about ponies? Yeah, I haven't done that in a long time, so yeah. Hopefully the audio is good. By the way, hopefully my voice isn't too loud, and hopefully y'all can actually hear the music just fine, that it's not too quiet or too loud. But hopefully I don't get copyright struck from this because that happened the last time. So thanks, Twitch. But yeah, I haven't done an Eclipse podcast episode in a long time, and I actually got the idea. I got the idea from basically talking. I was going to do a video talking about G5, but I thought, you know what? There's still some time left for me to do that. I mean, SmackDown hasn't started yet, so I still have. I'm gonna make this probably like around like a 50-minute podcast episode, and plus this is my first time being back, so apologies if I seem a little bit rusty. But either way, yeah, let's get into the nitty-gritty of it. So I've actually I've been meaning to do a video about G5 for the longest time now, but I just never really got to it. And a couple of reasons for that was because I just didn't have the motivation to do much MLP stuff. I was focusing on doing gameplay stuff and voiceover stuff, all of that good stuff. And I was kind of trying to get back into doing gameplay stuff. But, of course, all of that got in the way because, you know, depression's a bitch, and I'm not going to get into that, of course, but, you know how it is. But I thought that I could try and get back into streaming. I'm probably not going to be as consistent as I was, like, what, a couple of years ago? But, you know, still going to try at least, and I'm definitely going to update the background photo for the Eclipse podcast because I want a different photo for it. But either way, it's been a hot minute, and hopefully y'all are doing fine. Anybody who happens to be watching this or happens to watch the VOD, because I will be uploading this to my main channel. I usually tend to upload the gameplay VODs and stuff only to my second channel. So if you haven't checked out my second channel yet, go ahead and do that, because that's where all the VODs go. If you want to watch them from finish to end, from beginning to end, I mean, then feel free to do that. But now to the main event. MLP G5. It has officially been canceled. Not canceled. They basically said we're stopping it here. So I guess that pretty much means it's canceled, because it never really got any continuations like it was probably supposed to. And it sucks. It sucks. Like, it really sucks as someone who basically grew up watching MLP G4, and it being like a very huge part of my life. It basically, Friendship is Magic it holds a very, very special place for me. Like, compared to any other franchise, it holds a very special place in my heart, and for many reasons. That being that, especially when I was there were times that I was also depressed, and it really helped me basically kind of sideline those feelings, or push those feelings aside and enjoy watching it, because I always enjoyed watching the episodes and getting to see the characters grow, and especially my favorite characters, especially number one being Rainbow Dash, and she'll always be my number one, always. And basically MLP is what basically got me to start doing digital art. I got a Wacom Intuos drawing tablet, and that's where it all started. That's where my digital art journey started, and I do still do traditional art from time to time, but mainly it's been digital art and stuff. And yeah, it's definitely been a hell of a ride with this fucking with these horses and ponies. I know, but ever since G5 came out, I was really optimistic for it. I really enjoyed the movie. I even enjoyed it so much. Hell, I watched it 6 times. So that gives you an idea how much I like it. I still do like it a lot. I feel like it really launched G5 pretty well, in my opinion, because okay, you could have started it off with a series where we get explanation and backstory about all pony kinds have been separated. I feel like that could have worked pretty well, even if it did start off as a series. But the movie did it pretty well. It did kind of build up some of the conflict and stuff going on with other characters, and then we eventually get to see these characters meet up with each other and eventually become friends, and see oh, well, they're not as bad as we're led to believe they are, and especially the ending of the movie too, Sunny getting alicorn powers and all that. It was very unexpected. But I was one of those people who did enjoy it, who did like that moment, and was really fucking excited. I mean, hell, my original reaction, I think my original reaction to to the G5 movie is still up, I think. I do think so. I did not mean to close the music like that. But yeah, I still do believe that it's still up, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. And then we got into the news of a series coming out. Now, of course, that is the one where I was kind of okay, we're gonna see how this goes. Of course, it's not going to be as detailed as the actual series, as the actual movie was. I already knew that. But I was still optimistic about it. I was still looking forward to it. And then we started getting news about like it being done by like I think like a different studio, I think. Because I think the first one was done by Boulder Media, and I think another studio took the helm for the series, and yeah, we got a first episode that was very, very clunky in terms of quality. Like, don't get me wrong, it was okay, but there was a lot of problems with it. The animation was by all means very stiff, and the lighting was not the best, especially on the models. I could go on a fucking tangent about the other stuff in it, but I'm not as detailed as other people are who are, more professional in that kind of modeling area. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know jack shit about it. So okay, we got the first episode, so I thought, okay, yeah, that's fine. But then we get into chapter 2, and of course at the end we got that reveal of Opaline being like, oh, they got their magic. I will stop them once and for all. And some shit like that. And I'm gonna get into Opaline in a second, but I feel like I'm probably gonna get some hate from this comment, but I feel like most of the episodes in Make Your Mark, especially if we're talking about the other characters, specifically the main 5, I feel like there wasn't really much character development going on. I don't know if it's just me. It's probably just me, but I feel like I didn't really see anything like, especially like, we got to see characters kind of like, grow, as in like the way that we saw them grow in G4. And that does kind of bum me out a little bit because I feel like the movie already kind of set them up pretty well to where I'm like, okay, well, now we're going to see more of these characters and we're going to see as they develop into maybe something more. And that never really happened. And I kind of went, okay, so we're still kind of like doing random stuff now. It's like, okay, there were some moments in some of the episodes that I really liked. Especially there was an episode with Sunny and Pip. No, wait, what the fuck? Pip and Zip. That I really liked. It was the episode where they basically were stuck in like a cave. A cave? Where they were stuck in a cave. I almost said it again. I almost did it again. But yeah, they were stuck in a cavern, and it was basically, the episode was like revolved around them finding this flower that basically Misty had set up as a trap, and I think they eventually did end up finding it, but then it was like an episode of like, oh, sisterly arguing and shit and conflict, and then it ended with them actually like making up and just kind of like embracing their sisterly bond. I thought that was neat. I thought it was okay. But then there was an episode of Sunny that I really fucking hated. It was an episode about Sunny's alicorn magic suddenly going fucking haywire, and I didn't really understand that. I thought like, okay, so we're kind of having a similar situation like with Twilight when she was trying to get used to her wings. So I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it at all. But I don't know, the whole episode revolved around like, oh, she has alicorn powers, and now all of a sudden like they want to they want to be able to, like, everyone wants to be around her. Like, everyone, like, oh my god, Sunny, you could be so popular and everything. And I'm just like, she fucking had the wings and horns, like, for what? How long? I'm pretty sure there wasn't, like, that much of a time skip after the movie, but, like, I'm like, okay, interesting. And then there was that whole fucking that whole part of it as well where Misty had left like a little mirror or something, and Sunny was like, oh, what's this? And opens it, and it's basically Opaline, disguised as Sunny, trying to, like, and Sunny is just being there like, oh, are you the voice in my head? And I'm sorry, that fucking moment pissed me off so damn much, cause, like, okay, I'm not trying to read too much into it, but I watched that part, and I went, there is no way that a character like this can be this fucking stupid. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, you could say that, okay, some characters do tend to have, like, their brain fart moments and shit. But it would have been one thing if it had, like, lasted for, like, a couple of seconds, and then Sunny could have, like, kind of gotten the idea that, wait a minute, something's not wrong, something's not right here. But the fact that she went into it believing that her own reflection was talking to her, and it believing that it was the voice in her head, and not, something else that could be kind of like, suspicious and shit like that. I don't know. I kind of hated that moment. I'm sorry, but, like, I'm sorry, because, like, seeing how from the movie, she was very passionate about bringing ponies back together. She wanted to see everyone live in harmony and not basically be separated from each other because of course, a new generation was just basically, the whole plot of that was just like, hey, we're just racist towards other ponies. And Sunny managed to bring them back together, and because that was her whole goal. She wanted to basically see ponies, all pony types, living together again, just like in the old days. And of course, like, we never really knew how much of a time skip there was after G4, but seeing her being able to do that, pull that off, bring everyone together, and then just her kind of, like, acting like a dummy, yeah. And, like, I'm just there like, Sunny, my girl, please, my god. But I was like, okay, I'm not trying to, I'm trying to ignore it. I'm gonna try to ignore it. It's probably not that serious. It's probably not. But I don't know. I didn't like that moment. I didn't like that part from the episode at all. And I don't know, this whole thing about, like, the whole thing about, like, ponies not listening to her and only listening when she had her alicorn wings out and everything. And I'm just sitting there like, my guys, she fucking brought everyone back together again. I feel like that's a really huge fucking feat. Like, that's fucking humongous for someone to be able to pull something off, pull something off like that. Sorry, I just had to check that my voice is actually, like, pretty, like, that the volume is actually okay, but, like, but fucking, I don't know. And I'm probably gonna get some hate for this as well, and I don't know if anybody else agrees with me, which you should. I'm kidding. But I feel like Sunny was kind of like a background character in this. Is it just me? Probably it was just me, I don't know, but, like, it felt like she kind of just became, like, sort of like a background character, especially, like, and it's so bizarre to me because, like, she has these powers that she can use by her own will, but it just kind of feels like the powers are just there for the sake of it. They're just there because why not? And they don't really serve that much. They didn't really serve that much purpose for, like, the story in a way, because especially with like especially like considering like what the point of the fucking first episode was, like the first episode of this series was. I mean, yeah, sure, she used her powers to basically save that fucking Karen from fucking falling into the black void of emptiness. Um, so that was just kind of like one thing, but seeing her not really use them all that much afterwards, it just kind of baffled me. I don't know. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Correct me if I'm wrong if she actually did use them like at any other point in the series, but like it then just kind of makes me ask, why even give her the powers in the first place if she's not even gonna fucking use it? Like that, like if she's not really even gonna use it that much. Okay, she used it in like the fucking final fight between Opaline. That I remember. But okay, she used them there. Fair enough. But I don't know, man. Like, cause here's the thing: Twilight having wings at least kind of like gave her a purpose. She basically became the princess of friendship, and she had to start taking on this new responsibility, being an alicorn and shit. And like seeing how she evolved from just being like a regular unicorn and just being like, oh, I just read books, I don't want any friends, to then being like the pony to then being like the princess of friendship and helping others learn about friendship as well. Like that, I felt like that was like a very good payoff. Now we could all sit here and talk about like Celestia 2.0. I feel like they could have given her any other kind of design and I would have been fine with it. I feel like her having the Celestia look kind of was a little bit jarring. Not gonna lie, but you know, I'm not gonna take that away from the ending of G4. It was still a very good ending in my opinion. It makes me sob every time, but and yeah, I don't know, like Sunny she just didn't really feel the same as from like the movie. She just didn't, and that fucking pissed me off because like I really liked her. She ended up being one of my favorite characters from the fucking G5 movie. But I just kind of feel like she went underutilized in this. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. If anybody else doesn't feel that way, then hey, yeah, hey, more power to you. But that's just how I feel personally. And Izzy, I feel like Izzy was just kind of like Pinky, but like I feel like they kind of like tuned her up a little bit too much in the series. At least me and my partner felt this way. Like yeah, sure, she had vibes of Pinky in like the first fucking in the fucking movie, but in here I feel like they toned it, like they fucking tuned up the volume on that to a fucking 100, and I don't know. I still think she was okay in the series, but like I don't know. I kind of prefer how she was in the movie, and then we have you know what? I'm gonna talk about them both and condense the both of them. Pip and Zip. I could not fucking stand the fucking influencer part with Pip, of her just like doing this every moment that she could, and like don't get me wrong, the voice actress for her has pipes. I'm not gonna take that away from her. She can fucking sing, but I just could not fucking care about the fucking influencer thing. It got a little bit too much for me at certain points. I can't say where because I haven't watched it in such a long time, but you know, it just wasn't for me. Now Pip, sorry, god damn it, Zip. Zip, I feel like she was okay and good in this. I did kind of like the whole detective thing that she had going on, kinda. At some points I was like, okay. But hey, at least they gave her something, you know? Like of course I didn't want her to be like, you know, it would have been better than just giving her like the same kind of personality as Rainbow Dash, because then they would have just called her Rainbow Dash 2.0. So I'm fine with that, but I don't know. I feel like they could have done something a whole lot more with Zip. I'm the whole detective thing it was kind of hit or miss for me personally. Now fucking Hitch, however, good fucking lord. I don't know what happened here, but like Hitch does not feel the same for me as he did from the movie. I'm sorry. Cause like in the movie he was just like, oh yeah, like being the sheriff of this town and protecting the citizens is my bread and butter. Like this is what I live for. And it just kind of changed a lot in the series. And that's all I can say. Didn't really like Hitch all that much in the series. I thought he was okay in the movie, but here I did not give a fuck. Just could not give a shit. And the voice acting was good. The voice acting was solid in my opinion. Of course we weren't gonna fucking see like the voice actors from the movie come back. I mean, come on, you had people like Vanessa Hudgens and Ken Jeong and who else? James Marsden, who is doing the Sonic movies, and who else? Liza Koshy as well, and Sophia Carson being an artist and all that. Of course, you weren't gonna get the fucking same people for the movie. That I kind of already expected. So, but the people who voiced the characters, I thought they did a solid job. I liked Sunny's VA. I did kind of like Izzy's as well. Zip's I did like. I did like her voice in or her VA or her portrayal voice in the fucking show, whatever. And Pip was also good in my opinion, and Hitch, no offense and nothing, this is in no means an insult or like an attack to the guy, JJ Gerber or Gerber, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. I didn't really like the voice all that much. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of other people probably did, but like I didn't really care them. I didn't really like it that much. I kind of liked it the more like I'm a sheriff, and I kind of like the more like more deepish and more like bold tone that Hitch had in the movie. I preferred that voice a little bit more, but not to say that the guy did a horrible job. It's just not the voice that I would imagine Hitch having, especially in the series. Now, Opaline, however, here we go. Fucking Opaline. My god. Where do I start? I don't know how much of a controversial take this is or opinion, but I did not fucking care for Opaline being like this kind of like basic like Disney villain. I'm sorry for being so negative in this review, but like after like, you know, rewatching some of the episodes that I did watch and then eventually finishing it with my partner, there were so much in this fucking series that I just could not give a shit about. I'm sorry, but like, I really tried. I usually give these things a chance, especially with MLP. I tried to give it a chance, I really did. But it just did not click with me. It just did not. And yeah. And can I ask a question real quick? Who the hell decided to fucking increase the saturation on Opaline's coat color? Why the fuck is it that fucking saturated? Toned it down just a bit. I would have, you know what? To be honest, I would have given her like a kind of like a grayish purple coat of color. Not this. I feel like this was kind of unnecessary. This was kind of unnecessary in my opinion. And yeah, it I didn't really care much for her as a villain. I really didn't. She was just kind of like for almost like the entirety of the series, she was just kind of like, "Oh, you Misty, go and collect the dragon fire for me, and then come back, and then I shall give you your cutie mark, and then we shall destroy them once and for all." And yeah, I mean, okay, the basic Disney villain personality is not a bad thing. It's not terrible. I'm not trying to say that it was horrible and terrible, but I feel like they could have given her something else. Like, I'm sorry, this is just how I fucking feel about the whole show as an entirety. I know there's other people out there who enjoyed it, and hey, if you enjoyed it, more power to you. I'm not gonna take that away from you. Everyone has the right to like whatever the fuck they like, but I did not care much about this. I preferred a movie. I preferred a movie, to be honest with you. But the fucking, my god. And Opaline was basically like that villain who's just like, you go and do this and I'll just sit here and just observe. I'm just gonna spectate like I just joined a fucking match. Joined a fucking match in Call of Duty and I'm spectating my fucking friend. Like, that's pretty much what it was. And like, I mean, yeah, eventually she did go do something. So, which I kind of liked. I liked that she actually fucking left her fucking castle this time and decided to touch grass. But I don't know. When it comes to, like, villains, especially, well, the thing is, I can't even rank villains from G5 because we didn't even have villains, plural. We only had a villain. So I'd only say that but if I had to rank like villains from like G4 and Gen 5, I'm sorry, but Opaline's at the fucking bottom. She is at the fucking bottom. I did not really care that much for her. And holy shit. The fucking story that the fucking the background that they did. The fucking background story that they gave us for Opaline. It was basically like she wanted to be friends, I think, with Celestia and Luna. But what really fucking confused me is that Celestia and Luna are clearly shown to be fillies in that. But what really fucking confused me is that Celestia has the same mane color, the same color of her mane when she was an adult. I looked at that and I was just like, wait, hold the fuck up. Like, for Luna, okay, Luna was accurate. She was okay. But didn't Celestia have pink? Wasn't her mane pink when she was younger? Yeah, she was. We're gonna look this shit up right now. Yeah. She in most of the artwork that I can see she did have pink hair. Especially if I type in like young, Celestia Young. Yeah. She's shown to have pink hair. And I think it was like, even like, at least for the story's sake, that she did have like pink hair. But here she has like her regular main color like she did when she was. I think that's probably just like design choice. Like I'm not gonna look that too deep into it. That's probably what it was. But I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's just like whatever. But I don't know. The whole story with like her basically being ignored by Celestia and Luna, and then just basically being like, well, fuck you then. Fuck you then. I'm just gonna go ahead and like fucking betray you and shit. And she got all pissed off because of that. And like, yeah, that was it. That was it. She just got irritated because she got ignored and fucking snapped. And I have some thoughts about G5 being intertwined with G4. Okay. With the whole clip of Twilight basically having that distress that message for Sunny in like was it like the first fucking episode? Was it the first? I think it was, right? Hold on. Was it? I actually need to check now because like fucking pop filters in the way, god damn it. I feel like it was. Yeah. Yeah, sure was. It was like, yeah, it was in episode 2. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. The whole timeline really fucking confused me because I'm like, because even like Opaline said that that she battled Twilight, and I'm like, okay, here's the problem. Here is the fucking problem that they face now. As soon as you go and connect G4 into G5, you're gonna have a lot of fucking plot holes in that shit. With G5 really, really leaning into G4 for story purposes, I'm like, okay, with the whole Twilight thing, I was fine with it. But the more they kept pushing it, I was like, okay, now I would want you to just kind of like do your own thing and not have to like resort to G4 for story purposes, for like story stuff and shit. Like, don't get me wrong, like of course I do want some flashbacks from time to time, or not necessarily flashbacks, but like stuff like related to G4, because they did show that in the movie where Sunny's father, who faced the sin of being a father of being a very kind father in a movie, fucking died. They did show like the whole story about Twilight and them being friends, and then like spreading friendship all across Equestria and shit. Like, I like that they did it like that, but the fact that they kept on going for G4 story stuff and shit, especially like with the whole story of like Opaline like facing off Twilight, and the biggest fucking thing that had me really baffled was how like Opaline managed to fucking knock out all of them, the main 6, and I'm there like, all they really said, I think, was that like, oh, she managed to like basically best the main 6, and she was like very powerful and shit, and I'm just there like, we've had like what, how many fucking villains in G4 who the main 6 have managed to fucking beat the fuck out of, and you're telling me that this one simple alicorn was able to take them out just like that. With like, I think they even explained how she did it with like dragon magic, the dragon flame, I think, or something like that. I don't know It's been a while since it's been fucking forever since I watched it. But ever since they did that, I'm just like, oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I mean, I should have known that they were gonna fucking connect G4 somehow and give Opaline like a backstory related to G4 and being very fucking confused by it. I was there like, what the fuck? The fuck? When did this happen? When did this fucking fight happen? Because Twilight wasn't even a fucking Alec, wasn't like Celestia 2.0 in the fucking hologram message. She was how she looked before all of that happened. This is what I'm talking about. This is what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, and I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. There were some episodes that were just like, okay, they were fine. There were some episodes that were, you know, fun and shit like that. I'm not saying that the entirety of it was fucking shitty. I'm not gonna, like, make this be, like, a whole fucking, like, negative review and shit like that. And, like, overall thoughts about it. There were some episodes that were fun. But then there were some episodes that were kind of, like, unnecessary. To me, at least. But, okay. If I could be positive for 1 second, the episodes that I thought were really, really nice were the episodes of Misty finding out who her father was. And her father, of course, being Alphabetal, who runs the tea shop in Bridalwood. And I liked the episode that they had afterwards where, of course, Misty doesn't remember much from her past, but Alphabetal is still kind of like... Alphabetal, meanwhile, still remembers and is kind of like trying to push stuff from the past onto Misty when she doesn't even either A, remember it, or isn't really just her thing, and she just kind of wants time to just kind of figure everything out. And them basically, like, agreeing on that, and then, like, and them being at the end, like, yeah, don't worry, I understand and shit like, and stuff like that. That was a really nice episode. I liked that. I really liked that. And when it comes to, like, character development, I really liked Misty. Misty, I feel like, was, like, the best character growth in the series that I really actually liked. Because she went from being, like, this fucking henchman for Opaline, just being, like, this helper who just wanted to have a cutie mark, and being taken into the castle and, like, under Opaline's wing, and her finally, like, saying, like, you know what, fuck you, I'm out, and turning her back on her. That was really good. That was good. And her joining up with the main 5, and of course they eventually do become the main 6, of course. I really liked that. I really did. It was so good. It was so good. I really enjoyed her character arc in this. It was really good. And it was the only character arc that I cared about. But yeah, what can you do? What can you do? And, can we also talk about that one fucking character whose ears kept going missing the whole time? What the hell was that about? Was the model just kind of, like, fucked up, and her ears just kind of kept disappearing, and they were like, fuck it. We can't make this work. You're gonna have ears and not have ears, so... Me and my partner kept referencing that when we were watching it. Opaline gets trapped into a tree, and it was not any of the fucking characters who fucking did it. Not Sunny, not Zip, not Pip, Izzy, or Hitch, or even Misty for that matter. It was none other than this little fucking shit stain, Sparky. Y'all want to talk shit about my boy Spike? This piece of shit. I am sorry, but the second But the second I fucking saw this fucker, I was like, I am not gonna fucking stand this character, am I? I'm sorry. I did not care for this fucking... this little shit. Like, you had to fucking listen to the fucking baby noises all the time, and I'm just like, oh my god, fucking kill me. Why did they have to make this character like this, where it makes fucking baby noises the entire time? Like, I would have preferred it to fucking talk. But, and it was fucking, it was Sparky who ended up fucking defeating Opaline. Who, because fucking Opaline managed to Misty managed to capture Sparky and trap him and shit, and trapped him in a bubble, and then drained all of the fucking dragon flame from within him. And Sparky said, "You know what, bitch? I'm choosing violence." And Sparky was the one who defeated her. I'm like, okay. Even me and my partner watching, and we were both like fucking excuse me. You fucking build up this villain to only have her be fucking defeated by a little shit. And I'm there like, okay, sure, we can do it like that, sure. I don't know. You could probably tell I did not care much for that fucking character. I'm not gonna go into a detailed analysis about all the episodes. This is not what this fucking stream is about. I'm only just gonna talk about my overall thoughts about it, and that's it. Oh yeah, the fucking dragon episode. Holy shit, the fucking dragon episode. What the fuck were those dragons? Those fucking dragons, I'm sorry, but the fucking colors and the designs of them as well, I despise it. I despise it. I really fucking hated those fucking designs. I am sorry. No offense, but what the fuck were they? What the fuck were those designs and those color patterns, color schemes for them? Holy shit. And oh yeah, and Spike was in it as well. And he sounded like Barry White. Fucking... I saw some people say that, oh, well, his voice wasn't that bad. I'm fucking sorry, but that voice did not fucking fit him at all. Why couldn't they just fucking keep the same voice? I'm not trying to say they could have, they should have, gotten, Kathy Westlock back. I mean, it would have been cool if they did, but, why couldn't he just have, that same kind of, voice that he had at the end of the fucking... of fucking G4? Why did they have to give him, a fucking Barry White type of voice? I hate it. I fucking hate it. Ugh. My god. I was fucking... I don't know. And, yeah, and there was that whole fucking ending to, chapter 6 where Opaline was, stealing dragon, cutie marks and shit. I think that was when, Sparky was captured and shit. Yeah, I think. Yeah. And she even, mind control... She did mind control the dragons. The dragons looked kind of freaky when they were being mind controlled. I'm sorry. And that kind of looked a little bit freaky, but, at least she did something. That's the kind of, the only part about Opaline that I really liked, is that she actually said, you know what, fuck you, I am, going off the leash, and I am, gonna mind control every single dragon that I fucking see, and try stopping me now, bitch. I liked that. I really did like that. But that's about it. And, yeah. There was also that fight between Sunny and Opaline that was kind of okay. It was okay. And that's all I have to say about it. I mean, what else do you want me to say? What else do you want me to say? I've almost talked about Ponies for a full fucking hour. And last but not least, the final episode of chapter 6, where they went to this snowy world through a portal, and they met these ponies who were in a trance, and the fucking person behind it. Actually, no, we did have a villain. That was our second villain, a fucking cat, and she had a fucking haircut that made her look like that she could be called Margaret. She was a character. She definitely was a character, and that's all I can say about her. She was a cat, and she had a nice voice, and she had a rabbit for a sidekick, and yeah. And then they fucking teased it. They had some tease at the end where, like, her and, like, her brother, like, I think would join forces and shit. I don't know. But we're never gonna fucking see where that goes because they fucking canceled that show. And we still have Tell Your Tale and everything. I don't know what that show's been like. Y'all let me know in the comments down below what you guys have thought about it. What's it like? I have not really cared much to watch it. It just doesn't, I don't know. It just hasn't really interested me as much. But yeah, that's our whole discussion about G5. I can't talk about this show any longer because I can feel my fucking head going in, or giving in, but of course, of course, everything else aside, it is unfortunate that G5 has ended, and I have no idea when we're gonna see G6. I don't know. It may be a long time before we see that. I heard there was, like, a lot of other stuff as well with Hasbro going on where, like, that also really impacted, had an impact on the actual show itself and the actual generation. And it does suck. It sucks. I feel bad for, like, the people who took time to, like, make these characters and make these episodes because, like, as much as I didn't really care much for Make Your Mark, I still do like some of the episodes, and I feel bad that we're probably not gonna see these characters anymore because we're probably just gonna get introduced to more characters in G6 when it eventually does come out. And we're probably going to get new characters again that we're going to have to get used to again and be introduced to. Because that's the problem that I have with this being canceled. Because now we're going to be not going to be able to, like, spend more time with these characters, like we did with G4. So, what's G6 going to be like? I have no clue. So we're just going to have to wait and see. And I'm probably going to make videos about that because I made videos about G5, so I'm going to probably do the same with G6. And I heard some leaks that it was apparently going to be like a Camp Cutie Mark kind of thing, where it was going to be where every other G5 character except Misty was going to be involved with it. And it was going to be like the G4 characters going to, like, a camp to get your Cutie Mark. I was like, yeah. And apparently, like, Misty was going to be, like, a really over-exaggerated Fluttershy, and I was just like, oh god, I'm kind of glad that they didn't go through with that. If that was, like, something that they were going to do, I'm glad that they didn't go with that. I'm so glad. They really don't need to continue G4. Let it be done with. Let it be done. They ended it. It was such a good ending for it. A lot of people make the argument that we should have had a 10th season. Sure, I see where they're coming from with that, but I feel like if we were to, like, all of a sudden make a new G4 thing, it would kind of, like, diminish the whole ending, especially, like, the emotional ending and impact that had on a lot of people. So just leave G4 as it is, and make new characters, write them well, write some good character development with them, and make me care about the villains as well, because G4 had a lot of villains that I cared about, and also didn't like, but they were still memorable, you know? But do the same with G6 when it eventually does come out. I know y'all can do it. I know y'all can. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this. Thank you all so much for watching, and yeah, that's about all I can say about G5. And again, it sucks that it's finished, but hey, I mean, at least it went on for quite a while. So at least we have that, but it still sucks that we have technically like 27 episodes of just one season, technically. But with that being said, I'm probably gonna upload this VOD at some point to my channel, and for those who probably are gonna see this later on, then hey, enjoy this. Enjoy me ranting about ponies. And with that, I shall see you all, my lovely crackheads, in the next stream. It's great to be back. I'm gonna try and be more consistent if my fucking mental state allows me to. And we'll probably talk about something else on another episode of the Eclipse podcast. I'll probably have to make some sort of like a schedule for it, because I do kind of like want to also have streams where I do kind of play stuff and go back to playing stuff as well. Maybe have an Eclipse podcast episode be once a week. I'll try and figure it out. But thank you all again so much for watching and joining and listening to me rant and talk about this. And as always, I shall see you all, my lovely crackheads, in the next stream. Love y'all. Peace.